Welcome from Munich, where we have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S, as you can see in the background, in the 10.5-inch version. And we also got for it the beautiful keyboard that Samsung lent us also, but this is not inside the box. You have to buy this one separately. It's also available in two different colors, because the tablet is available in two different colors, in a silverish color and this white one, both with a nice gold here side. So let's just put the keyboard to the side. It's connected via Bluetooth, so nothing special there. We'll show you that in a second. So you can see here the tablet itself, which looks like the Samsung smartphones with the last apps button and the back button here. Also the on and off the home switch, which also has a fingerprint reader built in, like in the Samsung Galaxy S5 and Note 4 and some other devices. Then we have here the beautiful 2.1 megapixel camera on the front and a few ports. This one is the 4G model, so you have also a SIM card slot, not only microSD. You can buy this one with 16 or 32 gigs of internal memory. Then you have here your micro USB with a little bit of a dent here in the case or in the design of the tablet, but it's actually staying at the same thickness of 6.6 millimeters. Then you have here one speaker. On the top you will find nothing but the on and off switch, volume rocker, and an infrared port. Infrared again here, like in the last few models, for just controlling your hi-fi system at home, like TV, receiver, and other things. There's a whole list of apps pre-installed, or actually devices pre-installed here. Then you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and another speaker, so you can listen to nice stereo sound. And on the bottom there will be only a microphone hole, so you can use this device for Skyping or any other voice controlled feature. Then you have here on the back, of course, also a camera with an 8 megapixel resolution, a flashlight. You can see here again the name, it's a T805. And here on the bottom you can see also two little holes, or not holes, but here adapter ports that are for another case, not the case you will be able to see right now with the keyboard, but just for a folio, for example. You can dock on here, and then it's nice and tightly strapped to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S, not just via magnets, but via physical connection, which is quite nice. The back has this usual rubberish leather feeling, or leatherish feeling, that you know from the S5 and some other devices from 2014. This was available, or arrived actually in June 2014, and is quite beautiful. So let's check out the hardware a little bit. After the hardware, the software a little bit, where we have here Android 4.4 installed with a few apps pre-installed by Samsung, the regular Samsung and Google apps, as you can see here, like Gmail and their email by Samsung, and Sightseeing, for example, is quite interesting. So you can sync with your smartphone or remote PC usage here also. So this is, I think, a little bit more for business people. Then you have here in Germany, we had the Business Week pre-installed, and also an Office app. And here these apps are the ones I installed. So those are from me. Once you go back to the desktop, you can see that there's also two desktops here already pre-set up, and another one where you can just see a few things like your widgets, and that you can also set up the way you like. Like, for example, you can add some bookmarks, you have your watch on, news, and so on here. So you can just browse here through a few news if you would want that. You don't even have to go into an app. Hardware-wise, otherwise, there's 3 gigs of RAM inside, and Exynos processor with 8 cores, the octa-core, 5420 by Samsung, which means 4 times 1.9 gigahertz and 4 times 1.3 gigahertz at an A9 and an A7 level. And then we have the Mali T628 for graphics inside GPU, where we will try the Fast and Furious 6 game here with. So let's just go here to the camera, and let's check out that 8 megapixel camera on the back, where you can see here we have that little teddy bear in the back, and also here's the ladybug, which we can just take a picture of like that. And I can of course turn around the camera also, and then you guys will see here the 2.1 megapixel front camera, which of course detected right away my face and all my oldness here. Also, you can see it here under my eyes, but I mean you can see the beautiful resolution, especially with my hair, that it's really quite sharp. And you have also of course the beauty mode here, where we have set it to 5 right now. I can go down to 0, so you can see here a little bit when I just look like this, how many wrinkles I have, and I can just make them a little bit go away by setting it to 5. So you can see here the difference between 0 and 5, I hope, a little bit. But let's look a little bit nicer, and you can then see here also some details of my camera where I can also just take a picture of, and we can check out these pictures on this beautiful 10.5-inch screen with all the details here also of my camera that you can read here on a GH4, but you can also go back here to another side where you could even maybe read the text on the side of the box, which is actually also in the picture. I haven't even seen that, or just look at the details of your ladybug. So quite sharp pictures are possible here, also some not sharp pictures if you don't hold the device steady, and yeah, this is what you will get when you buy the Galaxy Tab S in terms of camera. So the display itself has a 2560 x 1000 let me double check, I think 600 resolution. Yes, that means 19 by 10, and actually we have a 8000 milliamp battery inside, which is draining right now. You can see we started with 69% and now we're at 66, and that's one of the main drawbacks here. I think with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S, the battery life is really not that good, even though when we have here only auto resolution or auto brightness, because the display needs the most power here set up, and it's not even to the brightest level, but of course we are outside, so we need a little bit more brightness than when we would sit inside, but I mean, you won't probably just look at your tablet on the inside. So we have here Wi-Fi, and location is off. There's no SIM card right now inside, which you can't take away here. Also, I find it a little bit sad. So if you will use your 3G or 4G device without a SIM card, you will always have this little notification here. Otherwise, you can just swipe the other ones away and just go back here to your work. Now you can see it seems fast, but sometimes it seems also quite slow. I don't know why. When I go, for example, to the Chrome browser and I would open up maybe a new page, like, let's see, now you can go to BGR, for example, if that's already here on the bottom, so I don't have to type, but you're able to see the keyboard, which actually, while that loads, I can show you guys here again. So we have a standard keyboard, which you can charge via micro USB, and you can switch it on and off, and it's just connected via Bluetooth. So I can just go here, page up, page down. There's no mouse here on the bottom. I always want to do this, but you actually don't have a mouse here on the keyboard built in, but you can go here up and down right here. You can just go page up and page down. It's a little bit faster. And just browse your way through here the contents of the website, or you can of course just use your finger. What you can also do is open up a new web page and just go to youtube.com, for example, if that works. You have to press here, and it's in English keyboard right now. .com. Here we go. Then we can check out some videos. Maybe Jackie Chan here, Karate Kid trailer, where you can see it's loading it quite quick, but here, for example, you don't have the YouTube player, but another player here built in where you can set up the different resolutions right now, but of course we are in a browser, so I think that's just normal. The quality wasn't or isn't that good here, but as I said, this is just, well, not standard, I think, view here, so we can just close this up and go on with our review. So we had here the keyboard, which you can actually close like this down. You can actually open this one also up, but that's not holding it quite strongly in there, it's just so it doesn't slide out that way, and there's no magnet actually holding these together, so I don't also like that much the keyboard, but what will you do? Okay, we have to show you guys, of course, also gaming. Or first here, Antutu. That we got 38,000 points here, 475. You can see it here on the bottom, which means it's faster than an LG G3 or Nexus 5, but slower than an S5, for example, which is quite interesting. But I guess because the resolution is so high on the device that it can't score that high, because it really has to render more than on smartphones. But again, as I said, let's go back to gaming, where we need to communicate with the servers, but we're connected to Wi-Fi right now. And then let's just see here, this is in one of the first levels of this game. I'm not that much of a reader. I just want to show you guys how nice the loading goes with the 3 gigs of RAM inside here, and the Exynos processor, and everything else has actually quite enough space or things here so we can just enjoy everything. Let's go back and let's race. I upgraded something, I don't care what, it's too much text and too much things going on here, so I want to show you just the gaming. And I know it's glary a little bit right now, but just try to focus on the game, like how beautiful the details are, that you can see the logos, for example. It seems to skip a few times, I don't know why, but of course that happens. So we have to shift, and we shouldn't use the nitro, as I see. Then we have to shift again. And that's already it, and you can see really how nice the game looks. It's said that you can zoom in on details, but you can see also a few anti-aliasing problems here. And yeah, there's actually not much else to say about the Samsung Galaxy Tab S. Then we also want to compare it maybe with the latest Apple iPad, which also has here the fingerprint reader inside, which is also quite slim and quite light. This is actually just 6.1 millimeters versus 6.6 on the Samsung, so you can see maybe the difference. I can't see much of a difference, but actually the iPad is even lighter than the Samsung tablet with 625 grams, not 665, but it's also a little bit smaller, as you can see, because the screen only has 9.7 inches, not 10.5 like the Samsung does. So that's why you can see here that the Samsung is a little bit bigger here on the rims. And of course you can expand the Samsung with more space. You also have something like Siri here built in, which is called S-Voice. And actually there's of course I think more features and more functions in the Samsung Galaxy Tab S, but the battery is, I think, horrible. You can see it here in a 12-minute review, 9% gone, is really quite bad. So thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Balazs with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S. Definitely check it out. And actually in the box there were only the cable, the charger and the manual. That's why we have that on the table. So till next time, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you much for watching again, and cheers.